To identify which equation matches the graph, I think the easiest way is to somewhat work backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the graph first and identify where are my zeros, and then from there we can work backwards to figure out which equation it should be. So the first thing I'm going to do is put little red dots here where my graph crosses the x-axis, because those are my zeros. So it looks like I have a 0 at x equals -2. I have a 0 at 0, and then I also have a 0 at x equals 1. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to write my 3 zeros. X equals -2, x equals 0, x equals 1. Now from here, the way that I'm going to go backwards and figure out what our equation should be is I'm going to take each of these and turn them into a factor. So what it would look like if they weren't solved. So I want to add 2 to both sides so that I get 0 on the right, and I have x plus 2. Then for the middle one, there's nothing to solve. So let me put a box around this. There's nothing to solve here. X equals 0. I can't simplify that at all. And then for my third 0, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And I have x minus 1 equals 0. Now what I'm essentially doing is I'm looking to see which equation of my 3 choices has all 3 of these factors. And when I say factors, what I really want to pay attention to is the part that's on the left side of my equation. So these things that I'm highlighting in yellow, the answer that has all 3 of those is the answer to this question. So the first thing I want to point out is if you look at the first 2 choices, they both have x in front, which we know we need. That was this middle factor that we were talking about. So I can automatically cancel out these last 2 choices because they do not have that third factor. So I need 3 x's in my answer because I have 3 zeros. Okay, so I'm down to 2 choices. Now I just have to pay attention to the signs. So if you look at my first factor here, it says x plus 2, and I see x plus 2 here. And then my last factor was x minus 1. So this first choice matches all of my factors. If you look at the second choice, the numbers are correct, but the signs are wrong. So you have to be really careful because they can look very similar, but still be the wrong answer. So final answer here is this top choice would be correct.